Alright, The Owl House Season 2 returns with the episode Follies at the Coven Day Parade, and with it comes a lot of heartache. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Firstly, if you're new to this channel, then be sure to give this video a like and comment. Also, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell for notifications. Okay, now on to the episode. So Follies at the Coven Day Parade opens with Luz making a video message to her mom about the Boiling Isles to show off how great it is, which goes about as well as you would expect. Though the most interesting part is seeing Hootie as a skeleton while he literally hangs his flesh on a clothesline, which is literal nightmare fuel. Anyway, after the intro, we see Luz, Willow, and Gus sitting on the steps at the entrance to Hexside, and Luz is staring at the video she made, still wrapped up in the emotional aftermath of the events in yesterday's lie, unsure how to tell anyone about what happened. But then, in comes Amity, calling Luz her sweet potato in Spanish, revealing she's been learning the language, which leads to an adorable interaction between these two.
Aw, Amity, you're the sweet potato.
Aww. However, this moment is cut short when Amity asks Luz about the process on the portal, which triggers her memory of our last interaction with her mom before returning to the demon realm, except her emotional state alters what Camilla actually said. And then Ido comes in to pick up Luz, and we get yet another small but adorable moment of Luz kissing Amity on the cheek.
Later, taters!
However, after she leaves, Amity notices Luz's phone that was left behind, as well as the video she made, which sets up the main conflict between these two in the episode. Anyway, Ido, Luz, and King go into town where the Coven Day Parade is being set up, and it's here we learn that Ido had hired someone to spy on Reign. Also, Luz finally learns about them, which is nice. Anyway, Ido becomes concerned when she finds out that Reign is still working for the Emperor, but since they will be making an appearance at the Coven Day Parade, Luz comes up with a plan to rescue them, with the help of Kikimora. Wait, what? Yeah, apparently Luz overheard her having a conversation with her mother on the phone, and learns that she has to either go to a family reunion or perform her Coven Day duties, and there will be serious consequences if she doesn't do either of them. And Luz relates to her situation, as she feels that she has to choose between returning to her mom or staying in the demon realm, and decides to help her, despite Ido pointing out the obvious reasons why she shouldn't.
Are you out of your mind? Kikimora nearly turned me to stone. She attacked you back in Latissa, and she didn't blink when your girlfriend was thrown down a pit.
And so now, the plan is to do a fake kidnapping of Kikimora alongside rescuing Reign, so she can go to that family reunion without getting into trouble for missing her duties. We then cut to Willow's home, where Amity comes to her to vent about her frustrations about Luz keeping her trip back to the human realm a secret from her, and then asks whether or not she should watch the video Luz made, as that would invade her privacy. Willow then tells Amity that she'll give her some advice, but with one condition. She has to braid her hair. And it's here where we finally see Amity and Willow beginning to repair their friendship. We then cut back to Kikimora, where we finally see Reign again, who appears to be alright, considering what happened to them in the ending of Ida's Requiem, with that red Bane stop covering them. However, it appears to have caused them to lose their memory of the events of that episode, their reunion with Ido, and the rebellion against the Emperor they formed. This scene also introduces us to yet another Coven head, Terra Snapdragon, the head of the Plant Coven, and it appears that she's behind Reign's memory loss. And so later, the parade begins, and Ido and Luz successfully pull off their plan to take Reign and Kikimora. However, when Ido finally reunites with Reign, she's confronted with the fact that they don't remember their reunion, and that they now want nothing to do with her, which incites an intense battle between them. But when the Coven guards can be heard coming into the scene, Reign lets Ido escape, but not without shedding a tear afterwards, making the whole thing all the more heartbreaking. As for Luz and Kikimora, they get pursued by Terra Snapdragon, but Amity comes in to help them escape from her. But then Kikimora double-crosses them after hearing Terra mention that she'll be getting a promotion. Though really, is anyone surprised by this? But when Terra herself comes in to put a stop to the fight, she reveals that the promotion was nothing more than turning a blind eye to what she did to keep her in line out of fear.
What do I get?
You get to live.
Anyway, after Terra and Kikimora leave, Amity finally confronts Luz about her trip to the human world, causing her to finally open up about what's been going on. And the final scene in the episode shows the end of the Coven Day Parade, where Ballas gives a speech about the upcoming Day of Unity, before revealing his face to the entirety of the Boiling Isles. And then the episode closes with Ido, King, Hootie, Luz, and Amity sitting on a rooftop, unsure of the future. And that was Follies at the Coven Day Parade, and already Season 2B is off to an incredible start. Firstly, this was yet another amazing episode for Lumity, as we have a great conflict between Luz and Amity, where Luz feeling she has to choose between the human and demon realms, and Amity being frustrated but also concerned for Luz for keeping these secrets, but still having enough emotional maturity to not invade her privacy or assume the worst, but instead properly confronting her, all while assuring that she is there for her as long as she knows what's going on. This allows Luz and Amity to properly communicate with each other and work through the issue. And that final scene where Amity's voice breaks while expressing her fears for Luz is just a cherry on top.
And why did he say he's gonna meet you again? Didn't you already meet? What else don't I know? What's gonna happen? I'm not sure.
It's great to see such a healthy relationship between these two characters, without the show succumbing to tiresome tropes for the sake of poorly executed edgy drama you get from typical teen romance. However, it's not all angst, as this episode also provides plenty of adorable moments of Luz and Amity just being loving girlfriends to each other, which, if you ask me, is just as important as the conflicts and development. And while we're on the subject of couples, the Ido and Reign scenes in this episode were downright heartbreaking, with Ido desperately trying to get through to Reign.
Did you forget this, too?
Why won't you just leave me alone?
And her expressions during the whole ordeal truly tug at the heartstrings. As for Reign, despite claiming to not wanting anything to do with Ido anymore, you could just tell from their facial expressions of their inner turmoil of not wanting to hurt her while maintaining their duty to the Emperor. They may have forgotten the events of Ida's Requiem, but they have not forgotten their love for Ido. Damn it, just give these two the happy ending they deserve already. Another highlight of this episode were the fight scenes. In the battle between Ido and Reign, we get to see more of Reign's abilities, with them creating attack waves and lightning strikes with their violin magic. But of course, it's the emotional turmoil between these two characters that makes this fight truly harrowing and intense. Luz and Amity's battle against Kikimora was also great, as it's so amazing to see just how in sync they are with each other as they fight, and we get to see creative combinations of both of their powers. And now, it is time to talk about Terra Snapdragon, and so far, she is my favorite of the common heads. I like how in her introduction scene, she acts maternally towards Reign, while at the same time she comes across as unnerving, as it's clear that she's behind their memory loss. It's further reinforced by this image of her bind surrounding them in the new end credits. I also really like how with just a couple of words, she manages to get Kikimora to turn against Luz, and is able to make getting the outcome she wants seem effortless. Now, there's one thing I don't like about this episode. It would have to be the characterization of Kikimora. Her suddenly acting all sad with a sob story was just too out of left field for a character as malicious as Kikimora. Hopefully, this doesn't lead to some half-assed redemption like with Lilith. Well, that's all I got to say about Follies at the Coven Day Parade. Guess we just gotta stay tuned for the rest of the Owl House Season 2B. Also, if you enjoyed this video, then be sure to give it a like and comment. Also, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell for notifications. I would also like to give a shout out to my $10 Patreon, John Wallacex. If you too would also like a shout out in my videos or just want to help support the channel, then head over to my Patreon. Well, I got nothing else to say, so see ya.